I think Hayley Williams has made the record of the year. I think she's made the record of her career, and I say that as someone that loves Paramore, loved the two previous solo records. One of them I made album of the year when Drowning Sound was just me, because I had that power.
Yeah.
And I think what's special about the record is, yes, there's like good hooks to it. There's the silly reference, the Bloodhound Gang.
Oh yeah,
There's
that
some
was good fun.
weird auto tune on one of the tracks.
I was listening to that album again earlier. I think because I knew this was going to be coming up, and I just really sort of stunk it and took in the way in Ice on My Ojo at the first track. So it was just her intonation, where she goes "cold hard bitch."
Yeah.
Love it.
And it's sort of got a similar energy to like a Phoebe Bridgers record, where
It
there's
does
like
actually, yeah,
weird shimmers in the edges of it.
yeah.
Like actually the record itself, for some people, is going to sound quite pedestrian and like quite middle of the road, and like, but I don't think there's anything about it that's that. Like
No,
I think that,
it's very varied as well.
and I think then there's the extraordinary bits where she's dealing with like race relations in the South in America, and how she went on stage on Jimmy Fallon. She had
Yes.
Mississippi Goddam written on stage.
Yeah, I think one of the really impressive things as well is that she played, I think the orchestra who played with her, she was sat at the back on the piano, and she had an orchestra full of people of colour, which is actually such a brilliant moment. I think people noticed that she was styled in a slightly similar way to Kurt Cobain's legendary MTV Unplugged and performance, but to like take that moment and take that space and actually it really felt like she was in the song, she was sort of reflecting what she wanted to put across in the way that it was arranged and performed. And that's one of my favourite songs off that album. And I think the thing that really sort of pricked my ears up a little bit was the fact that this is the most political she's ever been. I'm like, you knew she had that in her. And I absolutely love that she brought more of that into the music, and everything that she had to say, even from like the bit about the hardcore clubbing turned to a Domino's, race relations. I think she referenced the Hard Bargain is a town, I think, near where she grew up, that was primarily the population was primarily people of color as well. So I think that's like such a I think that was such like a landmark moment for her songwriting.
Have you seen Some Kind of Monster, the documentary?
I really need to
Metallica?
see that, to be fair.
It's a documentary about Metallica in
Therapy, yeah.
and it's got a great energy to it. But weirdly, this record feels like Hayley's the one that's gone to therapy, and the rest of the band, like it's almost like she's having band therapy on her own. Because there's a few references in there to like distance and things, and I think what she's also incredibly capable of doing is filling a record with Easter eggs. Like she changed some of the lyrics between the record that she leaked when she put it out on the Good Die Young website, which is her vegan hair dye company, who were actually sponsoring the tour that she's doing, which I thought was kind of cool and interesting. I'm assuming the merch desk, you're going to be able to buy hair dye.
I was going to say, this actually is a great idea for the merch desk, to be fair.
And yeah, there's like these little references where she changed the lyrics when the record came out on streaming services. It came out as individual songs originally.
Yeah.
And now the finished album version, she's changed a few of the lyrics to change slightly the meanings of some of the songs. And someone else I saw on TikTok said there seems to be a line from a different film buried in loads of her songs. And they've been finding all these like lines from like Tom Hanks films and things, like just random sentences that she's obviously just collected and kind of magpied and put into the lyrics. I just think everything about the way she's done this campaign feels like, I mean, I know that she's a big music fan. Like if you followed her online long enough, she talks about the music she likes all the time. And I'm surprised other artists, their fandom doesn't come out as much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel calculated.
And that's the thing as well. I think that's one of the most like endearing things, because that's everyone will have been a fan first before they actually go into music, and she sort of very much wears that on her sleeve and bigs up all sorts of different bands. I think she even plugged Loathe at one point. Very, very different band, but also a band I absolutely love. Like I've got so much time for Loathe, and that little crossover moment there, and she knows our hardcore clearly as well.
Well, when I worked for Max Richter, she tagged him a few times because she was listening to his music, and I love the idea that the average Paramore fan has gone out and discovered some of like Max's beautiful ambient classical music. I think it's hard to think of another record that's come from our world, that's standing up for grassroots music, that's standing against the kind of Trump regime, the rise of authoritarianism, Like, I know there's only subtle in the record that's calling out racist, that's calling out senators with holding guns on their Christmas cards. Like, did you ever see those pictures? Like, she references it in one of the songs.
Yeah, no.
Literally made Christmas cards with their like.
I don't think I'd seen that. I didn't think I'd seen those particular things, but like she gets across like, you know, the sort of depravity of that image really, really well. But like that's the other thing that I love about her as well is that she does allyship in such a way that feels so genuine and so authentic, and you can tell that I think from the way that sort of she's interacted with them. I think there's this whole thing. I might not be like the best person to speak on this, but I think I've definitely read a piece about how popular Paramore is with the Black community as well, and like the fact that there's that sort of symbiotic relationship there. I think is a really, really powerful thing, and you know she's doing it from the most genuine place possible.
So Daniel James's production is also really amazing as well. I think sonically the record's really interesting.
Yeah.
Previously he was involved with Efterklang, who are one of my favorite bands. And yeah, I just think the record sounds great, feels great.
Yeah.
Like, and I was waiting to be disappointed because most of the time when artists shift to being solo projects and things, like, and also because the last two solo records were so good, like one of them had sort of a bit more of a like Elliott Smith feel to it, and the other one,
the second one, isn't it? Because she made that one in lockdown, and you can sort of see how the sort of environment she was in made. I think it's Flowers of Vases / Descansos. I think you can see how that sort of filtered into it. But I easily think that Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party is easily her best solo album, and obviously it very much holds up with the high moments of Paramore's discography. Although all of them are, in my opinion, are high moments, but some are kind of higher than others.
So should we just mic drop and just end? Let's not drop these mics. We'll get in trouble.
No, we should not. We should not do that.